Eala Mania next week. We got a big one coming. Yeah. Alex Eala, the phenomenon. We didn't know largely the tennis community a year ago before her run in Miami. And now it's must-see TV and drawing maybe the biggest crowds anyone outside of Alcaraz Center and the like.
She represents the Philippines, which
Eala as well. She has made her debut here over the last couple of years, and she's won some matches here. Out of all the clay tournaments, this might be her best, her favorite as well. And with a qualified first round, who knows?
Is she the biggest draw in women's tennis right now?
Yes.
Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco?
Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having, like, on the men's side last year in Miami.
It's like Fonseca, but I think it's bigger than Fonseca.
It is. Yeah, it is.
The Madrid Open 2026 draw is officially out, and one name is causing more noise than a loose racket in a silent stadium. In expert circles, analyst chats, prediction threads, and probably at least one overly dramatic coffee meeting, there is one player dominating the conversation right now. That name is Alex Eala. Now, before anyone rushes in with folded arms and a skeptical eyebrow saying, "But she hasn't had the best recent results," relax for a second. We know. Everyone knows. Tennis fans remember everything. They remember losses, double faults, missed match points, awkward press conferences, and that one forehand into row Z 3 months ago. Nothing escapes tennis people. But hear this out, because the experts are not casually tossing Alex Eala's name into the mix like a random hot take. They are not whispering it politely. They are going all in, full commitment, no hesitation. And once you study the draw, once you look at the timing, once you examine the conditions surrounding this tournament specifically for her, it starts making a lot more sense. So let us break this down properly, because this story deserves attention, not half attention, not watching while scrolling your phone attention. Full attention. Let us begin where the noise started, the draw itself. When the Madrid Open bracket was released, the tennis world did what it always does. Analysts zoomed in like detectives at a crime scene. Every quarter was inspected. Every possible matchup was discussed. Every dangerous floater was identified. Every top seed was either praised or declared doomed within 5 minutes. Standard tennis behavior. Then they arrived at Alex Eala's section of the draw.
Massively the other day, and yeah, she's very, very dangerous.
And the reaction was immediate. She opens against a qualifier in round 1. Now, some people hear that and instantly say, perfect, easy win. Ah yes, the famous 2 most dangerous words in sports, easy win. Tennis has punished that phrase for decades. Because in professional tennis, qualifiers are rarely simple opponents. They arrive match-sharp, battle-tested, already used to the courts, already sweating for their paycheck, and carrying the confidence of someone who has already survived chaos just to enter the main draw. Qualifiers are basically people who have already fought through a side quest before the real game begins. So no, nothing is automatic. But still, when experts look beyond round 1, that is when the excitement really began. Her projected second-round opponent is Elise Mertens. A respected player?
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet.
Absolutely. Proven career? No doubt. Dangerous if she finds rhythm? Of course. But let us be honest here. Mertens has not exactly been moving through the tour like a storm recently. Her form has been uneven, her consistency has dipped. Some weeks, she looks sharp. Other weeks, she looks like she is trying to solve a puzzle mid-match. It happens. That is tennis. And in the context of a WTA 1000 event, facing Mertens in round 2 is not the most terrifying scenario imaginable. It is not like seeing a red warning light flash across the bracket. It is a serious test, yes, but one that looks manageable. Then the experts kept scrolling, and that is when things got even more interesting. Because deeper in Alex Eala's section, the path does not look overloaded with unstoppable names or nightmare early round collisions. There is no giant traffic jam of elite contenders directly blocking every step. No stacked ambush waiting around every corner. No section that makes analysts sigh dramatically and say, well, that's unfortunate. Instead, what they saw was opportunity. The competition on her side appears lighter compared to other brutal sections of the draw. Some halves are absolute survival zones. Some look like a gladiator tournament with tennis balls. This one? It looks open enough to reward a player who comes in sharp, focused, and ready to take momentum. That matters, because draws do not guarantee wins, but they can absolutely create windows. And experts believe Alex Eala has one here. They are not inventing fantasies. They are not writing fan fiction with ranking points attached. They are reading the bracket, studying recent form, comparing matchups, calculating momentum, surface comfort, and timing. And many of them are landing on the same conclusion. Getting through 3 rounds in Madrid 2026 is absolutely realistic for Alex Eala under these conditions. That is a major statement, because when respected tennis analysts independently circle the same name after studying a draw, people notice. When multiple voices say the same thing without being prompted, it usually means there is substance behind the noise. Right now, the message is consistent. Alex Eala's draw is favorable, and she has the tools to capitalize. Now let us move beyond the bracket itself, because the real reason this story feels bigger than simple matchups is the tournament we are talking about. This is Madrid. And Madrid is not just another stop on the calendar for Alex Eala. This is not one more clay event squeezed between travel days and laundry loads. This is not just another ranking opportunity with red dirt attached. For her, Madrid carries emotional weight, identity, meaning. Madrid is personal. Madrid is symbolic. Madrid is the kind of place where storylines suddenly grow legs and start sprinting. Because anyone who has followed Alex Eala's journey knows where so much of her tennis foundation was built. She has trained at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca since childhood. That is not a small detail. That is the kind of background detail commentators repeat with extra energy for a reason. She did not grow up randomly passing through one of tennis's most respected training environments. She developed inside a system shaped by discipline, clay court intelligence, relentless work ethic, and the standards set by one of the greatest competitors the sport has ever seen. That matters especially now.
The Doha crowds were insane for her last week.
If she wins a slam, it would be like one of the biggest things in the world.
Yeah,
Correct.
she's definitely one to watch, obviously because she's so good, but just for the atmosphere. You want to tune into her matches just to see what it's like on the court.
There's got to be like a little jealousy maybe from some of the women. That girl's coming in, she's not top 10, biggest star in the world. All right, don't engage with me.
Because clay season is where patience gets tested, movement gets exposed, and tactical discipline becomes gold. You cannot fake clay success for long. The surface asks real questions. Can you construct points? Can you defend one extra shot? Can you stay calm when rallies turn into mini marathons? Can you slide without looking like a shopping cart on ice? Alex Eala's years in Mallorca were preparation for exactly this kind of environment. So when experts talk up her chances in Madrid, they are not only discussing a friendly draw. They are discussing a player arriving at a meaningful clay court event with a background built for this season, a path that looks workable, and motivation that should be sky high. That combination is dangerous. And let us be honest, tennis loves timing. Sometimes a player enters a tournament cold, with a brutal draw and zero momentum. Sometimes a player enters with confidence but lands in a bracket full of chaos. And sometimes, just sometimes, the stars line up enough to create a genuine opening. That is what many people believe is happening here for Alex Eala. Now it is up to her to turn possibility into results. Because draws can help you, experts can praise you, and fans can believe in you. But eventually, somebody still has to walk on court, bounce the ball, and win the points. And that is where the real show begins. Spain is not just some foreign country where Alex Eala arrives, checks into a hotel, grabs an accreditation badge, and starts asking where the practice courts are. Spain is her second home. That distinction matters more than people realize. She did not simply visit Spain. She grew up there in many ways as a player. She developed her game there. She sharpened her instincts there. She learned how to compete in that culture, on those clay courts, under that relentless sun that seems personally invested in making everyone sweat. That environment helped shape her. So when Alex Eala walks onto the courts in Madrid, she is not entering hostile territory. She is not stepping into some strange arena full of unfamiliar energy and awkward vibes. She is coming home. And in tennis, that kind of home court feeling is real, even when the passport says otherwise. People sometimes underestimate how much environment affects performance. They think tennis is just forehands, backhands, and who can grunt most dramatically during a rally. But comfort matters. Familiarity matters. Feeling settled matters. When a player knows the rhythm of the place, understands the culture, feels connected to the surroundings, and senses warmth instead of tension, something changes. The shoulders relax. The feet move lighter. The mind stops wasting energy on adjustment. And suddenly, the tennis flows.
Which is a country with more than 100 million people, but doesn't have a lot of history in tennis. And she's really leaned into it. Here's a player who just gets it. There is such a loyal fan base from this demographic that honestly, tennis hasn't had much representation of in the past. It's really lovely to see, and it's lovely how she has shouldered that so gracefully.
I'm just really excited to learn more from her. I've watched her, I've read the articles, I've seen her speak and press. I know that our served audience will love hearing from her as well, so tune in for the...
That is what Madrid can represent for Alex Eala. Because for many players, tournaments come with invisible baggage. New city, different food, different atmosphere, different bounce, different weather, different everything. Half the battle is adapting before the first serve is even hit. But for Alex Eala, Madrid removes some of that noise. It strips away layers of mental pressure many players carry without even realizing it. Instead of thinking, how do I settle in here, she can focus on, how do I win here? That is a huge difference. She plays with freedom there. She plays with joy. She plays like someone who is comfortable enough to be dangerous. And in tennis, mindset is not some soft side topic people mention between statistics. It is everything. Two players can have similar shots, similar fitness, similar rankings, but the freer mind often wins. The player who swings without fear wins. The player who trusts instincts wins. The player who is not mentally negotiating with every point wins. That is why experts keep circling Alex Eala in Madrid. Not just because of the draw, not just because of clay, but because the setting fits. And then we get to another major factor that analysts keep highlighting. Ranking points. Ah yes, tennis's favorite emotional roller coaster. Win some, lose some, defend some, panic about some. Alex Eala arrives at this year's Madrid Open with 0 points to defend. 0. That number might sound boring to casual fans, but in professional tennis it can feel like oxygen. Because when players have points to defend from last year's result, every match carries pressure. Lose early and ranking points disappear. Rankings drop, seedings shift, confidence gets tested. Suddenly one defeat feels like it has paperwork attached. But Alex Eala does not have that burden here. She walks into Madrid playing with house money. Every win is a bonus. Every round reached is upside. Every ranking point earned goes directly into the profit column. No debt, no deadline, no scoreboard from last year staring at her in the face. That freedom is powerful. It means she does not need to protect anything. She only needs to attack. She can go after returns. She can step into forehands. She can take chances on big points. She can play bold, fearless tennis instead of cautious, calculator tennis. And nobody buys tickets to watch calculator tennis. The best players in the world will tell you the same thing. When you are not defending points, your game can breathe. You compete differently. You think clearer. You recover faster from mistakes. You stop hearing imaginary ranking alarms in your head every time you miss a backhand. That is a real competitive edge. For Alex Eala, Madrid becomes a blank canvas. No old expectations. No previous results she must match. No scoreboard from 12 months ago haunting the hallway. Just opportunity, and she is holding every color. Now let us talk about something important because too many people judge seasons the wrong way. They look at the last tournament and act like it tells the whole story. One early loss, disaster season. One quarterfinal, future legend. One upset, everything has changed. Tennis discourse can be wonderfully dramatic, but if we zoom out and look at Alex Eala's 2025 season properly, the picture becomes much more interesting. Because seasons are not built in 1 week, they are built in stretches. Momentum shifts, surfaces change, confidence rises and dips. Sometimes a player loses early while actually improving. Sometimes a player wins matches while hiding problems. Results alone do not always tell the truth. That is why experts are asking people to look deeper instead of reacting only to recent losses. They see a player whose overall level has continued developing. They see a player gaining experience against stronger opponents. They see a player learning how to navigate tour life, expectations, pressure, travel, and the weekly chaos of elite competition. That process matters. Growth in tennis is rarely a straight line. It is more like a mountain road drawn by someone holding the map upside down. There are climbs, dips, weird turns, and moments where everyone asks, are we sure this is the route? But development is still happening. And with Alex Eala, many believe those lessons are beginning to stack up at the perfect moment. Now the calendar turns to clay. Now the setting turns to Spain. Now the pressure of defending points disappears. Now the draw opens. Now the opportunity appears. You can see why experts are paying attention. This is not blind hype. This is context. This is timing. This is a talented player arriving at a tournament that may suit her mentally, tactically, and emotionally all at once. And when those three things align in tennis, surprising runs happen fast. One confident first round becomes momentum. Momentum becomes belief. Belief becomes dangerous. Dangerous becomes headlines. So yes, recent results matter. But they are not the whole story. Madrid might be the chapter where everything starts reading differently for Alex Eala. Because some tournaments are just tournaments. Now let us continue with the part too many people ignore. The danger of overreacting to recent results. Because in tennis, memory can be incredibly short. A player loses 2 tournaments and suddenly people act like the sky is falling, the racket strings are cursed, and retirement should be discussed by lunch. Then the same player wins 3 matches the next week and everyone starts using the word era. Calm down, everybody. Yes, Alex Eala has had 2 tournaments heading into Madrid that did not go her way. That part is true. No need to pretend otherwise. Results matter. And recent losses are part of the story. But they are only part of the story. The mistake many fans make is treating a couple of rough weeks like a full season report card. That is not analysis. That is mood swinging with Wi-Fi. Because here is what is also true. Her overall numbers this season, even with those 2 difficult outings included, are already better than they were at the same stage of her breakout campaign last year. Read that again. Even with setbacks, even with bumps in the road, even with people getting dramatic online after every scoreline, she is still tracking ahead of last season's pace. And last year was the year everything changed. Last year was when people stopped seeing Alex Eala as promising and started seeing her as a genuine force on the WTA Tour. Last year was when the wider tennis world began paying real attention. Last year was when the volume around her name rose sharply. Last year was when she announced herself. So if this season, despite some turbulence, is ahead of that pace, then what does that tell you? It tells you one simple thing: growth. That is what development actually looks like. Not perfection. Not winning every week, not floating through the calendar untouched by adversity like some mythical tennis unicorn. Real growth looks messy sometimes. It includes losses. It includes awkward weeks. It includes moments where outside voices panic while coaches quietly say, "She's improving." That is trajectory. And trajectory should excite every serious tennis fan, because when a young player keeps progressing even through imperfect stretches, that is often when something bigger is being built underneath the surface. Now, let us talk about wins. Because Alex Eala has not been collecting victories over anonymous names hidden on page 6 of the draw. The names on her resume this season carry real weight. She defeated Coco Gauff. That is not a typo. That is not a practice set. That is not Coco Gauff's cousin in an exhibition. That is Coco Gauff, one of the most dynamic, dangerous, athletic players on the entire WTA Tour. A Grand Slam champion. A former world #1 level competitor. A player capable of taking over tournaments with speed, defense, and elite mentality. You do not accidentally beat someone like that. Nobody stumbles into a win over Coco Gauff because they took a wrong turn near center court. To beat a player of that caliber, you need quality, you need nerve, you need execution under pressure, you need the ability to stay composed when the other side of the net is full of weapons. That win matters. It tells you Alex Eala can compete with the elite. And then there is another notable scalp, Semenistaja, a seasoned competitor, a dangerous opponent. One of those players who may not always dominate headlines but absolutely knows how to make life miserable for opponents. Experienced players like that bring variety, craft, awkward rhythms, and the type of tactical tricks that frustrate rising stars. Veterans know every shortcut, every delay, every tempo shift, every sneaky change of pattern. They have seen everything. And Alex Eala handled that challenge too. That matters just as much as flashy headline wins. Because beating top stars proves ceiling. Beating experienced disruptors proves maturity. Together, those wins say something powerful about who Alex Eala is becoming. She is no longer just talented. She is learning how to win different kinds of matches. That is the real leap. Some players can only win when everything feels smooth. Others learn how to win ugly, win smart, win tense, win tactical, win fast, win slow, win when plan A disappears by game 3. Those are the players who climb. Now let us widen the lens even further. Because this excitement is not coming only from analysts, commentators, or internet prediction accounts with suspicious confidence levels. Legends of the sport have noticed too. Novak Djokovic, one of the greatest players in tennis history, has spoken highly of Alex Eala and recognized her as the best tennis player ever to come from the Philippines. Think about that. When praise comes from Novak Djokovic, it lands differently. This is a man who has spent decades at the summit of the sport. He has won across eras, across surfaces, across rivalries, across pressure situations most humans would need therapy after experiencing once. He knows what elite talent looks like. He knows what future potential looks like. He knows what separates good players from great ones. So when someone with that level of credibility speaks positively about Alex Eala, people listen. That is not casual praise. That is heavyweight validation. That is the kind of endorsement that echoes through locker rooms, media rooms, and coaching teams around the world. Because if Novak sees something, others assume there is something to see. Now stack everything together. The favorable draw. The comparatively lighter section of the bracket. A projected second round against an opponent searching for top form. 0 points to defend. Spain feeling like a second home. Years of training at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca. A game shaped on clay. A season statistically ahead of last year's breakout pace. Big wins already banked. Respect from legends. At some point, this stops looking like random hype and starts looking like a genuine setup for a serious run. Does that guarantee success? Of course not. This is tennis, where predictions get humbled daily and brackets turn into confetti by Thursday. But it does explain why so many smart people are circling her name right now. Because when preparation meets opportunity, things can move fast. One good first round can unlock confidence. Confidence can sharpen shot selection. Sharp decisions can create momentum. Momentum can carry a player into the second week before everyone fully realizes what is happening. And if that player already believes she belongs there, now you have something dangerous. A season that is statistically ahead of her own breakout year. Big wins already secured over Coco Gauff and Semenestaja. Respect and endorsement from legends like Novak Djokovic. When you line all of that up, it becomes very clear why the experts are making noise right now. They are not hyping Alex Eala for no reason. They are not throwing darts at a board and hoping one lands on brilliance. They are reacting to evidence, and the evidence is sitting right in front of them. This is a player whose progress is measurable. A player whose confidence is growing. A player whose resume is getting stronger. A player walking into a tournament that seems built to test exactly the strengths she has been developing. That is why the excitement feels real. Because Madrid 2026 has all the ingredients of a breakthrough moment. The conditions are set. The draw looks workable, the momentum is quietly building, and the crowds in Spain are likely to be behind her every step of the way. That matters more than some people think. Crowds cannot hit forehands for you. They cannot serve aces, they cannot save break points, but they can lift energy. They can turn nerves into adrenaline. They can help a player feel 1 inch taller and half a second quicker. And in elite tennis, tiny margins decide huge moments. So no, do not sleep on Alex Eala. The experts certainly are not. They see a player arriving with less pressure than many rivals, more upside than people realize, and a setting that could bring out her best tennis. Now, of course, nothing is automatic. This is still the WTA Tour, where one dangerous opponent can turn predictions into shredded paper before dinner. Every round has traps. Every match asks new questions. Every opponent has their own plans, and surprisingly few of them involve helping your bracket forecast look smart. So Alex Eala still has to earn it. She still has to handle the opening round. She still has to manage pressure. She still has to execute when it matters. But if she does, then this tournament could get very interesting, very quickly, because momentum in tennis moves fast. One strong win creates belief. Belief sharpens decision-making. Sharper decisions create cleaner tennis. Cleaner tennis wins matches. And suddenly a player everyone discussed as a dark horse is standing in the later rounds while commentators pretend they saw it coming the whole time. Classic tennis behavior. Now let us talk about the second round possibility. Elise Mertens is experienced, dangerous, and far too skilled to treat lightly. Anyone overlooking her is making a rookie mistake with Wi-Fi access. But if Alex Eala gets through that challenge, the draw begins to open even wider. Then confidence rises. Then attention increases. Then every match starts feeling bigger. That is where players either shrink or level up. And this is exactly why Madrid feels so important, because it may not just be about one tournament result, it may be about proving consistency. It may be about proving that the flashes of brilliance are now becoming standard level. It may be about confirming that Alex Eala is no longer simply a rising name people mention with potential attached. It may be about showing she is becoming a reliable top-tier threat on the WTA Tour. That is a different category entirely. Potential gets compliments. Consistency gets respect. Potential gets articles. Consistency gets seedings. Potential gets watch this space. Consistency gets feared in draws, and this event could be a major step toward that shift. Then there is the clay court factor. Years connected to the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca do not guarantee wins, but they are not meaningless decoration either. Clay rewards patience. Clay rewards movement. Clay rewards discipline. Clay rewards players who understand how to build points instead of trying to end them in 2 swings and a prayer. Those are qualities that come from training, repetition, and environment. So yes, many people believe that background gives Alex Eala a real edge here. Maybe not a magic shortcut, but an edge. And at this level, edges matter. Sometimes one extra slide into defense matters. Sometimes one smarter rally pattern matters. Sometimes one calm service game at 4-all changes an entire match. That is tennis. Now we want to hear from you because this conversation is only getting started. Do you think Alex Eala can make a deep run at the Madrid Open 2026? How far do you see her going? Can she get past Elise Mertens in that projected second-round battle? And if she does, how many rounds can she clear from there? Do you believe the home court feel of playing in Spain will create a visible difference in her performance? Or is that factor being overrated? How much does the Rafael Nadal Academy background matter heading into a major clay court event like this? Are the wins over Coco Gauff and Semenistaja enough proof that she is ready for another leap? And after everything the experts have said, plus praise from Novak Djokovic, is Madrid the tournament that finally confirms Alex Eala as a consistent top-level force on tour? Or do you think the real breakout moment is still one event away? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Because if Alex Eala catches fire in Madrid, this comment section is going to look very smart, or absolutely chaotic.